All right, welcome to BTFX Capital's first funded trader interview. I'm Brendan Tontadonati, and we have Tegan here, a funded trader with us who has done 11.9k withdrawal on her first month on the funded account. So let's get right into it. Tegan, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how'd you get into trading?
Yeah, so I'm from Queensland, Brisbane. Gosh, how did I get into trading? Well, it was actually a mate of mine. He was posting back in 2015, I think it was, 2016 maybe. He was posting this stuff on Instagram, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Yeah. Anyways, he got me into it. Went through like a couple of different mentors and stuff like that before, really finding what works for me. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. Yeah. I was still working at that point. I got out of the army, got into trading. I worked for customs for a little bit.
Yep.
So I was doing like shift work and then trading sort of on my days off or around that. But then, once I finished up sort of mainstream work, it really, my like daily schedule and stuff like that really allowed me to do what works for me.
Wow, okay.
So I'm also a real estate agent.
Yep.
I sort of do that part-time, so I'm not like a full-time. I don't do like crazy hours a week. I sort of just list like one property at a time to kind of get out of the house and do something.
Yeah.
But other than that, like pretty much on the charts.
Yeah, that's exciting. And how did you find a strategy that works for you?
It took me quite a while, to be honest. And I'm talking like a couple of years. So when I first started, I was sort of no risk management, anything like that. And I was just, I would say lucky. Like I was flipping accounts, doing 100% in a couple of days.
Yep.
And I'd do that 3, 4, 5 times and then blow accounts. So there was just no risk management, stuff like that with what I originally learned. And then I sort of got into doing like support and resistance and that kind of thing. And using that, allowed me to really hone in my risk management and, that kind of stuff. But it did take a few years for me to get to there.
Yep.
And I'm always learning, like I'm always taking courses or just following, new things and trying new things out. Like I do a lot of support and resistance with like gold, GDJ, UG,
yep.
And then all the other things, like I kind of look at just like daily cycles and stuff like that.
Okay. So do you have a set pairs? Are they your set pairs?
Yeah, majority, like I used to only trade gold and GJ. That's pretty much all I used to trade. Okay. I'm sort of branching out a little bit now and just doing smaller lots on other things and just trying out different stuff, mainly because I think because I sit in front of the charts a lot, I like to see a lot of setups.
Mm-hmm.
And that for me, like personally, if I didn't see a setup, I would tend to force setups.
Yep.
So it's easier for me to look at a lot of different things and find setups across a lot of different pairs. That doesn't work for everybody. That's just my trading style, and that's my my own sort of thing. But those three are the main, like the GJ, gold, and UG.
Yeah. Well, that's what we see with the successful traders is that discipline. Like you have your set pairs, you have your times you trade, you stick to your rules, and that's how you can get those consistent profit. Because you came in pretty quick. You passed the single phase model. You made 11.9k within that 30 days. Like that's awesome. We love seeing that. So is there any advice you can give on how traders could stay disciplined or be disciplined when it comes to trading?
I think honestly, like it comes with time. I've got a few friends that have gotten into trading since, and they always just seem to, get a few wins under their belt and just try and absolutely smash it.
Yep.
Discipline, for me it comes from army, but also just from years of winning and losing money. I think, the only thing in the markets, like for how I think about it personally, is the only thing in the markets that I can control is my discipline and risk management. Everything else, it's the market does what the market does.
Yeah.
And so that's really what I try and work on nearly every single day. You're just getting better and better at that. And I think, you know, if you can control that and control your risk management, then
you'll be successful, profitable. Yeah, that's really exciting. And finally, any advice you can give funded traders who continue to get funded and then blow their capital? This is what we're seeing. We're seeing people being able to get past the single or two phase challenges. They can get to the funded account and then everything goes out the window, it looks like, and they just blow the accounts really quickly. Do you have any advice on that?
It's probably like the discipline thing again.
Yeah.
Comes back to that, and it's exciting. Like you pass the challenge phases and the verification, and you get your funded account, and then you think that you're just gonna make so much money, just do it. But I think, you know, the 30 days. For a lot of people, I think that's a challenge, is trying to keep profit for 30 days when funded and when they're seeing bigger numbers. I don't think a lot of people have 100K or 50K equity to sort of do those numbers. So when they're going from, you know, $5,000 accounts up to 100K and they're seeing fluctuations of thousands, and that really like disrupts them. But yeah, I know my advice will just be to stick to your plan, if you can get through the challenge phase, and you can absolutely get through 30 days and you can get through 6 months. And and for me, the challenge is sort of the hardest part, because you are thinking 30 days, you know, minus weekends and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to be hitting this each week kind of thing. That puts more pressure on, and then once you get funded, it's I was originally, I have still got an account with my Forex funds.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so I still have an account with them, but I just thought I'd try something new.
Yeah, cool.
Exciting seeing like Aussie, you know, people come up and into the sort of industry and stuff like that. Like I think I messaged you, or I think I messaged the BTFX training page.
Yep. Yeah, BT Trading.
Just saying like, that's it, sorry. Yeah, just saying like, you know, it's awesome to see more Aussies doing it, because all of my mentors and stuff have been international.
Okay.
And even when I talk about Forex now, like people ask what I do, they're like, what is that? Like no one really knows what it is.
Yeah.
And so I do like to support Aussies doing their thing here, and you know.
Oh well, we definitely appreciate it, and we're happy to have you on board. But also, just because we're so new and no one knows really about BTFX Capital yet, can you give any feedback on how it's been with BTFX Capital, especially because you've used other prop firms? Are we good? Are we competitive? Is it what you're after?
Definitely. One of the massive things that I've noticed is the support. So, you know, with previous companies, you're looking at, you know, 72 hours to get an email response or to get any kind of support, and then they're in a different time zone. So even when you email back, it's another 48 at least hours to get it takes at least a week just to sort one small problem out. With you guys, I've had responses within minutes, always. Even with my withdrawal, you know, I had an email, like an automatic email straight away pretty much, but then like an email a couple hours later saying, it's being processed, like you'll get an email in 48 hours. So everything is just really, really quick.
Great.
You know, and I hope that you guys can scale that with more, when you get more clients and stuff, you scale that and keep that.
Absolutely.
Because that's just awesome. You don't find that anywhere else. But also all the promotions and stuff like that you guys run, and everyone can vote in Discord, so if you're not in Discord, get in Discord. So, you know, everyone has a say in what promotions that you guys are running, which I think is really awesome too, and it's just more of a community feel, like the traders have a say in what's sort of happening within the company around that, and I really like that. I think this is home for me now.
Oh, awesome.
I feel like, you know, it's not just another number, like we're looked after here, and
absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
It's great. I really appreciate that. It's awesome. Yeah. So, and that's what we're after here. We just want to have, I think that's a big difference when it comes to prop firms. We've built it up from traders who started off just like yourself, who got highly successful, who've gone to the stage of prop firms. So we know what traders want, and that's why we've built this the way that we have. And it's so good to now see traders coming in, getting funded like yourself, doing withdrawals. So yeah, that was all the questions I really had. It was really lovely meeting you, and congratulations, and I'm looking forward to future withdrawals.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. You have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye.